Hey guys, it's Devin here from 4 Guys in a Game, looking at Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. Going to be doing a rift run today. So, haven't posted a video up yet. I was on the first podcast there, and I'm just getting around to getting this up on the channel. Little introduction about myself. I've been gaming since I was probably 4 years old. Started with the Mario, with the classics. And yeah, bunch of games since then. The one I'm really on right now is this one. I love loot. That's essentially what the game is. Action RPG. Kill stuff, get loot. There's some strategy to it, and I'll go over some of the build items later on in the video here. But to anyone that doesn't know anything about Diablo 3, and I'll assume never played Diablo 2. Essentially with Reaper of Souls you've got 6 classes. Barbarian, Crusader, who are like the melee class. Oh dear, I'm about to die here, guys. Put my guard down. Eh. You can go over the classes on your own, I guess. Trying to live here. There we go. Wow, these guys are shitty. Get this little health well here. Get out of that. Get out of there. Wow, I am sucking, guys. Holy fuck. This show is not kid friendly. Not even a little bit. Yeah, basically it's an action RPG. Kill stuff, get loot. That's about it. You don't have to worry about putting skill points into different skills or anything like that. Blizzard, they've streamlined it really, really well, so you can basically just experiment. Ooh, look at that, legendary. You want those. You want these. Ideally you want them to be good, but whatever. So yeah, if you were looking into getting into it, I guess my best, biggest tips for you would be to pick the class you think you want to do. I mean, they streamlined the game pretty good, so you can just pick up any class and go. Like, I'm not really a melee type player usually with games like this. If I had to pick, I'd probably be more so like a wizard, but you can pretty much pick up any class and just be free to experiment. The game encourages experimentation, actually. There's no downside to trying out different skills. And you can notice that through the different items that drop in the game. You'll get items that, for example, bring up just this little window here. The cluster arrow damage by 12% increase. That's what I'm using here. You'll find that for every skill, which is super effective at raising your overall damage. But yeah, basically anyway, I'm doing a rift run right now. It's basically a random series of dungeons and random monsters in it, and you're trying to fill this bar up by killing as many of those monsters as possible. Till the bar fills, that it drops a random rift boss. Few different bosses it could be, and then when you kill that rift boss, guess what? You get tons of loot, which you want tons of. Again, I'll say that a million times. That's what this game's about. I guess that's the biggest detriment to the game, is it's so big on loot. Like, finding that best loot for your build. You get a build in mind, and when you finally do get all that gear that you need, which will take a lot. It will take a long time. And if you're not interested in trying out different characters or different builds right away, you might find yourself kind of bored. Now, you're going to be like many, many, many hours in before you even come close to getting that problem, but that is a problem right now. Blizzard's looking to add in different things to basically give us stuff to do with all that really good loot, right? And with the amount of patch support they've had for the Reaper of Souls since it came out, I think it was March 25th this year it came out. I can't even, a lot of patches, a lot of patches. Like, just tons of support. And they definitely listen to the community when it comes to upgrades and stuff like that. Like, they had the weekend, last weekend was the anniversary of Diablo 3, 2-year anniversary, and they raised the legendary drop chance by 100%, which is freaking awesome. And people liked it so much, guess what? We have it all the time now. You get the hardcore players, the ones that are playing, you know, 8 to 12 hours a day, complaining that it's going to be too easy to get items, but you know what, like, I have faith in Blizzard. They'll add some stuff for us to do with that really good gear once we get it. And the game is so heavy. Like, the builds that you shoot for are so dependent on gear. If you look back at Diablo 2, that game, you had skill points, you had stat points to distribute every level. This game, no, you don't. As you get to certain levels with certain classes, they just give you skills. Like, there's not a whole lot of reason to make 2 demon hunters, unless one's normal and one's hardcore. But there's just no real benefit to that, because what sets my demon hunter apart from other demon hunters is the gear he's wearing, and what skills I do choose to use. So, like, I'm a cluster arrow build, which is a super popular build right now. And very largely dependent on items. Like, cluster arrows super expensive to cast. I've got my hatred here, and my discipline. Basically all my discipline's used for right now is refilling my hatred. Cluster arrow costs typically 40 hatred. That's a ton. That's a ton. It does so much damage. That's why it costs so much. But basically you just gear around being able to spam as many of those suckers as you can. Because once you get to that point, like, you can just mow them down. I'm having some trouble here trying to talk and play, but yeah, it's a great game. I freaking love this game. I put so much time into it, and just recently, after like probably 3 weeks, I want to say, of looking for better weapons, I actually in 2 days, the last 2 days, found both of those weapons. Just crazy happy about that. And then found a Bersia and a Windforce, which are 2 other really good items, but, you know, I don't... I'm good. I'm good for items now, Blizzard. For my character, he's getting super, super close to being done. Like... only a couple other items that I need, but, yeah. Game's gotten a lot better. If you've played Diablo before Reaper of Souls came out and you were playing around with the auction house, my god, it's such a better game now. I know there were some people that were bummed out about the auction house getting taken down, but I think in the end it was just way better for the game. Before you'd have that auction house resource where you could post items. You could put up those items on the auction house and sell them and make tons of money back. Real world or in-game, and I seen where Blizzard was coming from, because Diablo 2, there were third-party websites that did the same thing. You could buy gear for real money, and none of my friends ever took advantage of it. There were people that were taking advantage of it, obviously. Not everybody wants to do the work, and if you're hunting for a Zod rune in Diablo 2, holy fuck, good luck. So, you know, I can kind of see why people would spend the money there, but anyway, the Auction House Diablo 3, I think, was just... It basically what it amounted to was a game about loot. You would find crappy loot, more often than not. It was junk. Sell it on the auction house, hope to sell it on the auction house to make a profit, and then turn around and buy an upgrade that somebody else had found. It was kind of redundant. Like, the whole system was just silly, I thought, but... you know, it was a little disheartening playing for about 6 months. I bought a PC for that. I bought a PC for Diablo 3, and after about 6 months I had to give it up, because the auction house was just... the loot drops were just so disheartening. You'd go forever without finding an upgrade. And since they fixed it, I mean, they took the auction house out. They increased the loot system, similar to the one that they had introduced to the console version for Diablo 3, except even better. And, you know, added a bunch of new features. just being able to find gear, that was the biggest thing. Killing some stuff, killing some stuff. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, the auction house is gone, and the game is way better for it. Like, just finding that loot, guys, is so much better than it used to be. You go, thinking about 6 months of playing before the loot system was implemented, and before the auction house was taken down, or the smart loot system, sorry. I found probably 3 legendaries in 6 months, and they were complete shit. And since then, I mean, I've got just tons and tons of loot. And for a game that's all about loot, you kind of want to find it. Eventually. Like, there has to be a bit of a hunt, but come on. Anyway, better now. Here we are. Good action RPG. It might not be the most hardcore of action RPGs. It's quite streamlined, but it makes it very accessible to anybody. And not crazy difficult to run on the PC. Like, you don't need a big rig to play this thing. Just from, like, the camera view here, it's just not that demanding. Oh, man, come on here. Yeah. Oof. Oh, yeah. I gotta get used to this. Just got the new build, so I gotta get used to doing these vault stuff when I run out of discipline. So yeah, me and a couple buddies decided to do up a channel here, just for fun, and just, you know, play games like we normally do. Post it up on the YouTubes. If we get views, great. If not, yeah, whatever. I'm doing this anyway. Might as well record it, right? And it won't just be Diablo vids for me anyway. I mean, this is just the one. I might do more if more people seem interested in it, but I figured it'd be a good place to start since this is the game I play the most right now. Opening chest, torture tools, camping. Need them mage fists? Give them up! Yes, I'm looking for mage fists. Third glove. And it's really interesting, like, since they did get rid of the auction house, people were like, okay, well, what are we going to do with gold? You know, what's going to happen with our gold? Is there any point to gold anymore? Yeah, there is. Don't worry, they'll get your gold. They added in with the expansion a bunch of new stuff, guys, like adventure mode, just amazing mode. Basically, instead of running the campaign over and over and over again, which is what we were doing before Reaper, it opens up the entire map too. You can go anywhere, anytime you want. They have a bunch of like bounties you can hunt. I mean, doing the bounties earns you these little rift fragments, which, you know, you get 5 of those. You can open up 1 rift run, what I'm doing right now, and yeah, it's just a lot better. It's a lot better just opening up a game and just being like, okay, what am I going to do today? Which is exactly where they wanted the game to be anyway, which they found a good place for it. The only thing it lacks in is that big end game. Once you can do Torment 6, which I'm on Torment 2 right now, I'm not quite Torment 6 ready. My goal is to get to Torment 4, but once you get to Torment 6 ready, there isn't a whole lot to do right now. But I think the majority of players aren't Torment 6 ready yet anyway, so we've still got gear to hunt for. But yeah, typically I enjoy playing, since Diablo 2, I enjoy playing the hardcore mode, which is you die, your character is deleted, whatever they have equipped is gone, whatever's in their inventory at the time is gone. Just adds a really cool edge to it. Like, I can just run in here right now and just dick around. There's no real consequence to me dying other than the repair bell, which I'm not too worried about. But it's always fun, you know. Have a couple buddies over for the weekend. Bring their PCs over, plug them up in the living room, start new hardcore characters, and just go. See how far you can go, right? It's a little gut-wrenching when someone does go down. Look at that. Look at that. That's cool. Marauders? Really? Oh, baby. That's awesome. That's my first Marauder piece to find. Oh, it's got crit chance on it too. That's fucking great. That amulet's not very good. But that's sweet. That's my first piece of Marauders. Marauders is like the top tier set for Demon Hunters. That's my first set to find. Man, that's freaking awesome. I've been having such good luck the last 3 days. And that's what it's about, guys. Like, that's what it's about, finding that gear. Let's get this Rift boss completed here. See if he gives me anything. Should be right. Oh no. Let's see what I can do with these guys. Death mark him right there. Throw some cluster arrows at him. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, alright. Yeah, that's nice. Boom. Cool, cool. What are we at here? 99%. Look at that. Yeah, so I pretty much explained my build, before. Oh, that's handy. Little speed pile on there. Just use as many cluster arrows as possible. That's it. It does crazy amount of damage. It's awesome. I'll break down the items in a bit here. Just gonna kill this dude. Wherever he is, there he is. Let's death mark him, get some extra hatred off of him, and he'll take some extra damage. Pop my little wolf guy, he'll get more damage. Pop like that. There we go. My discipline's low, so then we just vault, get my discipline up, get into the health globes. There we go. There we go. There we go. Vault away. Use another preparation. Death mark him again. Preparation again. Vault. Get my discipline back up. Preparation again. Get my clones going. Look at this stuff. It's fucking silly. Oh, I gotta use a potion because I'm stuck. Oh. Yeah, just die. Here. Look at this. Look at this. I don't care. I'll kill you. There. Nothing Marauders would be cool. Alright, fine. Ooh, lagging boys. Look at that. There we go. Alright, got a little Forgotten Soul here. That's a crafting material. You'll need that to reroll any stat on any legendary, which is something you're going to end up doing if you put any amount of time into this game. Alright, well that's good enough for now. I'm just going to go back to town and run through my build real quick. Little piece of Marauders. That's amazing, guys. That's awesome. It's already got a socket in it. Don't need... Wow. Throw that in there. Alright, so let's go through the build a little bit. Alright, so basically I've got Evasive Fire here for my left click, just generates a little hatred. I don't use it very often, but for that little backflip, you know, whatever, it's kind of just a placeholder right now. I could do something better with it. That's the main star of this build. 770% weapon damage as fire. Drops the 4 additional grenades there for 220% more damage per grenade. A vault with the action shot rune, so I can shoot 4 arrows during a vault, and they deal 75% weapon damage. Guaranteed critical hits. That's the main reason I use this. It's actually, for the most part, I want to just deal cluster arrow damage. That's mainly to get my discipline back. It says it costs discipline, but as my items will show in a bit, it actually does not cost discipline, it costs hatred. Companion, little wolf, pop that, 30% increased damage for 10 seconds. Marked for death, that's mainly for single targets, like the big guys, like the rift bosses. I got it rigged up so I get hatred. Any attacks I make against them will give me 4 hatred. And they'll take 20% additional damage. Preparation with the punishment rune to spend some discipline to get a bunch of hatred back. Night Stalker, critical hits, chance to restore discipline, which works really good with the Vault action shot. Sharpshooter just to keep increasing my crit chance. I don't have high enough base crit chance right now, so it's just a placeholder till I get, around the 50% mark for crit chance. Blood Vengeance to increase my maximum hatred and get some hatred from health globes. And Ambush, which is really good for bursting down these mobs. 40% additional damage to enemies above 75% health. So usually you can 1-2-shot a mob. And, well, I can with Torment too. Alright, so I've got Pride's Fall Helmet. It's got the cluster arrow damage on it, which is perfect. Some crit chance, which is good. Legendary Affix. If I don't take damage for 5 seconds, my resource costs are reduced by 30%. Super important when Cluster Arrow costs 40 hatred. Cinder Coat. Absolutely need it. You need it for the Cluster Arrow build. You do. Fire skill damage increase. Reduce the resource cost of fire skills by 30%. I believe... Yeah, 30%. Like, this is freaking crazy. Another vital piece here, Reaper's Wraps. It's super easy to get. Kill the last boss. He'll drop the plan if you don't have the plan already, and has a chance to drop Reaper's Sphere, which you'll need to make these. They're just a really good bracer, guys. Like, health globes restore 26% of your primary resources, so you kind of see a little bit of what's going on here. Reduce resource costs, and yeah, I mean, getting those health globes with the Blood Vengeance passive, this gives me a lot. 56% of my primary resource. Boom. From a health globe. Shadow Coil, it's not really important with these ones, guys. Like, I'll be honest. I just try to go for some dex. These gloves have crit chance, crit damage on them. Some dex, some vitality. That's good. Shoulders, I don't have anything crazy there. This one's kind of interesting. Crit damage, crit chance. And it summons shadow clones to my aid whenever I stun an enemy. May occur once every 30 seconds. But these bows down here, this one here in particular, Vault gains the effect of the Rattling Roll rune, which basically makes it so when I vault through enemies, they get stunned. So I can make, 2 clones by stunning. And then I have the other Dinettas, actually, which is just perfect having these two guys. Leave a clone of yourself behind after using Vault, and that clone attacks as well. So you can basically have a ton of clones around, shooting arrows, shooting whatever off, while you get in position and start firing your cluster arrows. And with the 2 set piece bonus from the 2 Dinettas here, it now costs 8 hatred instead of discipline, which is just super easy to mitigate with the punishment rune. And that's my only thing that spends discipline, aside from the 3 for Marked for Death, which doesn't occur very often that I use it. Yeah, and I mean with the automatic critical hits from the action shot, you, in your Night Stalker passive here as well, you're restoring your discipline like mad, leaving clones behind. They're hitting, they're critting, and refueling your discipline like crazy. So that's pretty much the build. I mean, I have some other stuff here. Stone of Jordan. That's the other important piece. Fire skill damage. Perfect. Crit damage. I don't have crit chance on this ring because I had to reroll to get the fire skills, actually. Which isn't, if it was rolled better, I could always go for a better one. If it did roll better, I could have crit chance on there as well. But increased damage against elites by 25%, which is huge. And it has the 8 maximum discipline. Any extra discipline is good discipline. That's for sure. For my Paragon levels here, maximum hatred just affects the percentage that I restore when I pick up health globes because the hatred's bigger. 46% crit damage, resist all 230, make me a little more survivable when I do take those hits, resource cost reduction for that cluster arrow. And yeah, that's about it. Anyway, that's my Demon Hunter. And that's Diablo, Reaper of Souls. That's a rift run. There's a bunch of other things you can do here. I mean, you can go for bounties. There's all these different things, complete that event, clear that cave, kill that dude, and these branch right out to all the acts. There's tons to do, tons to do. Every game you make, you got something to do. Or you can run through the story if you want. Close that rift here. Yeah, but that's about it, guys. That was the vid. If you like it, give me a like. If not, that's cool too. Alright, have a good one, guys.